Who joins us now live. All right, Senator, thank you for your time this morning. It seems darned if you do, darned if you don't, to water it down a little bit. I mean, some folks said, you got a lot to do, why don't you stick around? And then you have the minority leader saying, it's because you don't want to go home and face your constituents. What's the truth?
Well, you would expect him to say that. But look, I applaud the leader's decision to delay this. I mean, we had 10 senators actually put a letter together earlier this week to encourage our caucus to stay in, and that's what we're doing. Look, we have over 130 nominations because of the Democratic obstructionism here of the president's nominees. We can't even get to them to get them nominated and confirmed. We've got to get that done. Then we've got the debt ceiling to deal with. We've got the FY18 budget, the reconciliation that goes with that, and 12 appropriation bills. And we've got to do that by September 30th, Shannon. We only have 30 working days between now and September 30th. And then, if we get all that done, we've got the tax package in front of us, and that assumes that we get health care done next week.
All right, so let's start with that, because I understand there are two different versions that'll be unveiled. We think tomorrow, going to the CBO, where they have gone for scoring, you'll get that information. One of them includes this amendment by Senator Ted Cruz that essentially would say insurers are allowed to offer lesser plans, cheaper plans, easier plans, less coverage, as long as they have at least one that meets the Obamacare standards. I know conservatives are on board with that. Where are you on that particular amendment?
Well, I was one of the ones that talked about that originally. I have a personal experience with that where before I joined the Senate, I was in an individual coverage in the individual market and had it canceled, and it was a very simple program. They eliminated that program, that policy. I want to say, and that's what really drove premiums up. One of the large drivers of increases in premiums was this elimination of several policies. And so what Senator Cruz is trying to do is give the insurance companies more flexibility to offer a wider variety of policies, and that will lower premiums, which is one of the objectives we have in this entire process.
But we hear with some moderates that idea, that concept, that amendment is a non-starter. Can you get to 51 votes with that?
We can, and here's why. The people who have objected to this are worried about pre-existing condition prices of policies for the pre-existing condition patients. When some states like South Dakota, they dealt with that, and other states have as well. And you can deal with it by putting a ratio on the price of premiums, and therefore protect both policy holders. There's a way through this, and I hope we can find it between now and next week. But I'm encouraged that the leadership is doing exactly what they're doing, and that's getting more scores done by the CBO on different alternatives, so we can look at those next week.
What percentage would you give this idea of something passing out of the Senate within next week?
Boy, I'll tell you, it's really close. We're down to one or two. I think if we get this thing in that Senator Cruz is talking about, I think we can get this thing done.
But do you not think you'll lose others who object to that? It's sort of like a whack-a-mole. You get one in here, there. Others don't like the idea, and they pop up somewhere else.
Shannon, that's the problem. I mean, look, the first thing you got to worry about is Obamacare is collapsing under its own weight. That's the thing we don't talk about enough. I mean, premiums are up over 105% in the last few years. People are dropping out of it every day. The CBO estimate of the number of people that will lose insurance is ridiculous. I mean, we all know that. So those are facts. The problem is right now we've got to find an 80% solution. There is no 100% solution to do, given that Obamacare is collapsing.
Okay. All right, Senator Perdue, good to see you, and we'll see more of you during the August recess as well, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon.
Thanks.